Hey Flosstube, welcome to Creative Whims Studio. Hey guys, it has been a hot minute, hasn't it? I'm so used to doing these every week, and it's been so crazy with the Farm Girl Gathering and so my last two Flosstubes, which that second one, the part 2, could have just been added to the first one, but I thought it was going to be a lot longer. Anyways, so I had 153 part 1 and part 2. Welcome to Flosstube 154. Today is Saturday, June 4th. My name is Teresa Kogut, and this is a YouTube channel about my creative whims. Mostly cross-stitch, but art as well. So let's get started. Like I said, it's been 2 weeks since my last video, and a lot has happened. When I got back from the Farm Girl retreat, I think it was 3 days later or 4 days later, we left for Florida with some friends. So we were there for a week. The friends that we went with, she's a near and dear friend to me, and her husband and my husband brew beer together, and you know, we're like best friends. And my friend, she has grown up going to Siesta Keys. She had grandparents that lived in Sarasota, which is right there. And so they would go to Siesta Key every day and spend the day at the beach and go out to dinner and then go home. You know, so she would go down there in the summer and stay a week or two. And then when she got married, her and her husband took their kids, you know, and then they go at least every other year down there. Anyway, this time they invited us. And if you know me, I'm not a big fan of the ocean. I love it. I think it's beautiful. I'm so happy sitting on the beach and just listening to the waves and relaxing. I might get up to my knees in the ocean, but I have this fear of sharks and jellyfish and all the other things that live in the ocean. And then, I don't know if you remember, but I don't know, was this 2 or 3 years ago, I went to Dolphin Island with Kristen, my soul sister, and her daughter Gabby. And it was the, I don't know, crab Jubilee or something. And the crabs were all over the beach, like when it was getting dawn and dusk, you know, those times of the day. You could see them running around on the beach. Well, anyways, the very first day we went down to the beach, I wasn't going to get in the water because I was chicken. And Kristen walked in with Gabby, and they were in 5 minutes, and Kristen stepped on a crab, and it punctured her foot, and so we didn't go into the water after that. Yeah, it was bad timing. We didn't realize that there was this thing going on down there. So anyway, after that, I really just thought, I'm not going to get in the water. But you know, when you're sitting on the beach and you're baking and you're just sweating, it's like, okay, I'll go in a little ways. Well, Siesta Keys, first of all, let me just tell you, the sand is like powder sugar. It's just not white, but it's really light. So it reflects the sun, so it's not hot on your feet. And it's very soft, and there's not a lot of rocks in it. It's just powdery, nice sand. And that sand goes out. Like, you can get in the ocean over your head, and the sand underneath is just like it is on the beach. It's wonderful. So anyway, I ended up getting in the water every single day up to my neck, and we would, you know, jump the waves because we didn't have a day that was calm. My friend that has been going there since she was a little kid said, oh, just wait. One of these days, hopefully, you know, it won't be windy and the ocean will be like glass. And I guess it's not the ocean, her husband says, because it's the Gulf. We're not in the ocean. Whatever. Whatever. So anyway, this is kind of funny though. So enjoying all of this time in the water, and I don't know, it was like 2 days before the end of our vacation, and I'm standing there, like we would just go out and stand in the water and talk and visit and jump the waves, and some of the waves would hit you in the back of the head and smack you down. It was just a lot of fun. And so, yeah, it sounds like fun, doesn't it? Anyways, I was talking with my friend, and I'm looking at the shore. She's talking to me looking out at the ocean, and we're just talking, having this conversation, and she's pointing behind me and going, like, she's not saying anything, but she's just like, and I, of course, instantly think something bad, like a shark or something, and I'm trying to get my footing so I can turn around. Well, about the time I turned around, I saw something dark swim past. And I goes, what was that? I'm like freaking out. And she says, oh, it wasn't a shark. It wasn't a shark. I said, well, how do you know? She goes, I can tell the difference between a dolphin fin and a shark fin. She said it was a small dolphin. I guess a porpoise is a small dolphin. I don't know. But anyway, that really kind of set me a little bit uneasy. And so I came in a little bit, had it more like waist high, the water, so that I could see down in it, because then I was a little bit nervous. Oh, and then I tell my husband that when he comes out to talk with us, and he's like, oh yeah, they said they spotted, he overheard someone say that they spotted a shark early in the morning, you know. I guess it's kind of like deer here in Michigan. At dawn and at dusk is when you're more apt to see deer crossing the road or something like that. I guess it's the same way with the ocean. That's when sharks are more active. I don't know. I don't know nothing about it, but I freaked out. My mom and Jerry, we met them for lunch one day. We kind of drove in towards them. It's about an hour and a half drive. And we had a nice visit with them. And then we invited them out to the beach. I didn't know if they would come or not because, well, just because. And they ended up coming out was it the day before we left, I think? It was the day before we left to come home. And that was really nice. My mom loves the ocean. She loves the water, not necessarily to get in it and swim around, but she just loves to be around it. And she got her feet wet and laid in the sun a bit and just soaked up the rays, and it was really good for her. And then we went out for lunch again, and so I got to see my mom and Jerry twice while we were there, so that was awesome. But I tell you what, I miss the grandkids. You know, we had Ellery's birthday, her 4th birthday party here at our house the day before Mother's Day, so on May 7th. And that was the last time I saw the grandkids, because after that, the week after that is when I left for Farm Girl gatherings, and I was home for 3 days. We left on a Thursday for Florida and came home on a Thursday from Florida. And Thursdays are when we watch the kids. So it was a month, almost a month since we had seen them, and it was really hard. We did FaceTime while we were in Florida, but and you know, Brianna sends Snapchats and things like that, but it's just not the same. So anyway, we got them this past Thursday, and we had so much fun. So much fun. I tell you what. And I can tell they've changed, especially Easton. He was like speaking in full, complete sentences. I'm like, whoa, what's happening here? Beautiful. Thank you. What's Teeny doing?
I'm petting her.
Oh, you're petting her? That's so nice.
My baby's talking.
Whoa. That one's not right. You had the first fold was right. Corners gotta meet. We can't be sloppy in our work now. There you go. Now fold it in half again. Put it over a little bit further. There you go. Good job. Thank you. You're a big helper. I'll put some videos at the end. Some really adorable videos of her birthday when we were singing to her. I don't know, maybe I already told you this, but when we were singing to her, she teared up. Kind of at the end, she rubbed her eyes. It was so precious. The next day was Mother's Day, and the boys came over and spoiled me. I got a plant from Ryan and an outdoor flower basket, pansies, beautiful white and purple pansies for the deck outside. And what else is going on? Oh, we got new patio furniture for our deck, and I love it. I love it. It looks so nice. And see, we have to have high top table and high top chairs in order to see over our railing, because our house has a walkout basement. So the deck, when you walk out on the main level, you can see the whole yard. It's just glorious. I love it, sitting up there and having coffee in the morning or having a drink cocktail at night with my husband. So it's not like you can just easily buy that kind of furniture. So we spent a lot of money on this outdoor furniture, but what it's made out of. I'll insert a picture. What it's made out of, it should last us forever. But here's the funny thing. I don't know if it was just extra dry this day that we were sitting in it. It was last weekend, and my hair. So it's made out of like recycled plastic, like compressed. It weighs a ton. It's very heavy, which is nice because up on the deck, the wind used to catch our other furniture, and if it was windy out, it would fall over, knock it over and stuff. This stuff is not going anywhere. But because it was plastic, it created some static, and my hair was starting to like slowly creep up. Like, just not all my hair, but just like pieces of my hair. Seriously, I'm like, I hope this is not something that happens every time I sit in this. And it hasn't happened since. So it must have just been my hair was extra dry, the air was extra dry. I don't know. Hopefully that doesn't happen when company comes over or something and someone's short hair, like, ching. Oh my gosh. So what else has been going on? I guess that's pretty much it. Just working in the yard. Kevin's been working in the pond, pulling weeds and taking care of that. It's such a big job, man. I tell you, it's a beautiful thing to have a pond right outside the studio. It attracts a lot of wildlife. I love it, but it is a lot of work for him. And I say for him because I do nothing with it. I work a lot of hours. I don't have time to do that. So when I do work in the yard, it's usually pulling weeds in the flower beds and planting things and that kind of thing. So, oh yeah, this year, last weekend, we bought some flowers for down here at the studio. So this is awesome because every year, I don't know, it just looks crappy outside of my studio. I'm like, I walk up to my studio, I want it to be beautiful, right? So we had these big, huge, gorgeous pots up on the deck. Well, they were kind of ruining the deck, and they're super heavy. So like when he washes the deck or stains the deck, they're just hard to move. And when you do move them, it peels up the paint and marks up the deck. And then, anyways, we moved them Mother's Day weekend. That was part of one of the chores the boys did. Okay, actually it was Ryan. Ryan helped me because Kyle came later and we had already moved them. But anyway, that was a big job to take all the dirt out of them so that they were, you could actually move them easy enough. Transport them down here. So I have 3 pots outside of the studio now. And then last Sunday we bought these huge, gorgeous Super Tunias. They're just beautiful. There's 2 or 3 different colors and they're just huge. So now I walk down to the studio and it's so pretty. I love it. I love flowers. And so this June is the best time of the year because the weeds haven't taken over and a lot of my stuff blooms in June. All right, I have a few announcements. Oh, one last thing. I got something funny that Ellery said. I mean, she says a lot of funny things, and so does Easton, but this one just sticks out to me because it kind of tells you a little bit about her personality. Kevin has this tendency, not tendency, but it's just a thing he does. He calls people boss. He says, hey boss, how do you want this done? Or, hey boss, don't do that. I don't know. He just uses that term a lot. So he accidentally said that to Ellery. He's like, hey boss, and he goes, I mean Ellery, and she goes, no, say boss. And I just laughed so hard. I goes, well, you might as well because she is bossy. She is the bossiest little girl I've ever met, and she's like shouts out demands at you, and I always go, excuse me, manners, like say please or I'm not doing it. I'm not getting what you want. It's so funny. She's a hoot. Okay, announcements. Oh, I gotta grab something. Okay, I want to tell you all that I no longer sell hooked and punched rug patterns on my Etsy shop that I trace. I had pulled them all off my Etsy shop because I'm just super busy and I don't have a good setup and space to do the tracing onto the onto the linen or the monk's cloth. And I have hooked up with Michelle Mueller of Wild Hair Rug Studio. She is a sweetheart. She lives in Upper Michigan, and I've been to her studio before when I was up there in Elk Rapids with some friends. Anyway, we've teamed up and she is now tracing the patterns and she's also offering kits. Now, she doesn't want to offer kits until she actually gets one of them. Now, she does rug punching. It's basically the same thing as rug hooking as far as the pattern goes. The only difference is rug hooking, you pull wool strips from the front, okay, with a certain kind of tool, a rug hooking hook. For rug punching, you are working from the back. It's more like, it's basically punch needle on a larger scale, and you're using wool yarn. So you're working from the back. So basically, your pattern will be backwards, okay? So anyway, she does rug punching, and she is also a dyer. She dyes her own wool yarn, okay? Now, I'm just trying to remember all the details. So what happens is if you order a pattern from me through my Etsy shop, I forward that order to her, and I take like my cut of it and then pay her, and she then fills the order and ships it out. So you can buy a pattern. It can be a hooked rug pattern or a punch rug pattern. These are your options. You can get it on monk's cloth or you can get it on linen. And then you can also get it as a full kit. So the picture that I have up on Etsy will be the colors that you will get in the kit. Okay, so right now we only have one on there because she's working on getting more of them punched because she has to know how much wool yarn it will take to make that pattern, right? So it's a slow process, but as she gets them done, we'll be adding more and more and more. Kits. Now, I recently sent her, and this was probably a week or two before the Farm Girl Gathering, I sent her a lot of my paper patterns. So I'm going to be adding patterns to Etsy soon as I can. You won't be offered kits yet because as she gets them, completed, then I can offer them as kits. But I'm still going to be able to at least offer the patterns if you want to kit it yourself, or if you want to buy, if you want to do rug hooking instead of rug punching, you'd have to go out and get your own wool strips and wool and all that. Okay? So having said all that, I just wanted to bring that up. I don't think anybody that watches my channel does rug punching or rug hooking. I have made one hooked rug, but I have done a ton of punched rugs. What I should do, I have them hanging on my wall around my studio. One of these days, actually no. I would say one of these days I will pull them off the wall and show you, but I really can't because they're up high and they're in places I really can't get to right now. But maybe I will go around and take pictures of them and I can insert them. And I also do have a big stack of them. Oh, you can see them actually right there. Those are a bunch of the punched rugs. So I've made quite a few punch rugs. Like I said, it's basically like it's basically like a punch needle. It's on a larger scale, and you're using wool yarn. You can punch with wool strips as well and have it look more like a hooked rug. I haven't tried that, but I know that you can do it. All right, so the first one, because this was the most popular pattern that I sold in Etsy, is For You. So she did such a cute job. I love the colors that she chose because it looks very antique-y. Instead of having his eyes black, she used a brown, And it just makes him look, I think, more like an antique postcard kind of look. But anyways, in my Etsy shop, you can buy this pattern. You can buy it to be traced onto either mugs or linen, or you can buy the kit where you will get all the wool to finish this little adorable sheep. So as you can see, that's what it looks like. Look at those colors. Isn't it pretty? It's just so beautiful. Oops, it's focusing on me. So there you go. It's a cute size too to hang on the wall. Super cute. So like I said, as she gets them done, I will be adding kits to the Etsy shop. This is the back of it. I'll insert a picture of the tool that I use to do rug punching. I also sell that tool in my Etsy shop as well. The next announcement I want to make is something that I know I've already said before, but it bears repeating, that I designed an exclusive design for Craft Gallery in Findlay, Ohio. It's a sampler, and it's only available to purchase through them, okay? It is called In His Image, and I'm going to insert a picture here. I will also put on the screen the stitch count, and so that you, oh my gosh. In order to order from Craft Gallery, you can either call them, which I will also insert their phone number here on the screen if you're interested in writing that down, look up now, and then I will also have it in the description box below, along with their email. Their email is PC Fruth, it's Paula and Carlton Fruth, Fruth at yahoo.com. I also want to mention that you can buy the full kit. It's stitched on XU Designs fabric, and they have that in stock in various thread counts, various counts. Mine, I think, was stitched on 40 count. If you purchase a kit, a full kit, meaning you get the fabric and you get all of the floss from Craft Gallery, they will throw in a free needle minder for you. So I know people love kits, and I don't blame you, because you order it, it comes, and you can start stitching it right away instead of trying to gather all the supplies for it. I don't think I ever mentioned that before when I showed In His Image sampler, so I just wanted to make sure that you know you can get a full kit from them. In January, I started a Faith in Stitches series of smalls. I did really good. January, February, March, I actually stitched them myself. I fully finished them into pillows, and I love them. And then I missed April because I was so busy preparing for the Farm Girl Gathering. And then in May, I darn near missed that one too. But the very end of May, I did get this one made. Now, I don't have it stitched. I did not have time to stitch it with all that was going on, but I do have it designed, and it is available as a PDF in my Etsy shop, and I will put a link in the description box below. But I adore this scripture. 1 Thessalonians 5:11. Encourage one another and build each other up. Isn't that the truth? I love supporting other people in their work. I do. I think, you know, I've never been one that felt like other artists or other designers were my competitors, because we all have our own style, our own look. There's millions of people out there, and they don't all like the same thing. So there's room for everyone, and so I feel I just connect so much with this reading. I do. And you know, if we all did this, think about it. If we all just were kind and loving to one another and build each other up and encourage each other, what an amazing world it would be. What an amazing world. So that is available now. And hopefully, and more than likely though, I will design one for June. I don't know if I'll have time to stitch it because I'm working on something that I'm in love. I'm just loving it. Oh, I love the design, but it's the most fun thing I've ever stitched. I haven't stitched a ton of things, as you know, but it's really fun to stitch. And then I'm starting something else, and I know I won't have time to do that. So I think that's it. Yep, that's it for announcements. So let's get into whips. If you happen to check out What You Paint Wednesday, I've been painting this eagle painting. And, okay, well, let me show you the whole thing first. I figure in the next, probably in 2 or 3 weeks, I should have it done. There's a house down there and a little folky flower. Sweet Land of Liberty is what it says. You know, when you paint while you're talking, you're not always thinking real clear. I got done with it. I didn't even think of it until like the next day. I happened to see this. I went to move the painting off the table. And I'm like, why did I paint his wings white? Just the tail, just the head, and I think the legs are white. The wings and the body are brown. I chart them that way, but I don't know. I was just painting along and chit-chatting with people on the live. But even though it's wrong, I think it looks really cool. All white. I don't know. I might just leave it that way. I mean, it's folk art. I can do what I want, right? I mean, it's not intended to be realistic. So anyway, I just thought that was funny. I didn't even notice at the time that I was painting it wrong. I started a new punch needle. And I really enjoyed working on this. I didn't get real far. I love punch needle and I really do miss it. I was talking to my husband last night. Oh, we went out to, oh, I might insert a little video of that for you too. Okay, so for Memorial Day, we did not go to the cemeteries. I had to work a full day because I was gone so much in May. I had to design 4 Patreon charts, and I had like 2 days to do it in. And so I worked a full day on Monday, and then the week, you know, gets busy. So anyway, last night we went to the Great Lakes National Cemetery where my dad is at, and it's so moving. I cry. Of course, I cry every time I go because I miss my dad. Miss him terribly, but it's, you know, it's all of our fallen men and women. I'll just insert a video at the end, just a short piece of it. I'll have a longer video in my Create Tube, but just the drive is lined with American flags, and it's just very moving. Why was I saying that? I don't know. I'm getting ready to show you this, and somehow I got onto that. Wow. I'm sorry, guys. I don't know what the heck. Oh, I know, because I was talking to my husband. We went out to dinner afterwards, and I was telling him that I really, really love cross stitch. Y'all got me hooked on it. I mean, I want to cross stitch like 2 and 3 hours in the morning and then at least an hour at night. I would love to stitch that much. I can't. I don't have time for that. But I usually get an hour in the morning and maybe an hour in at night, depending on what I have going on. But I'm cruising right along on my cross stitch. But, you know, it's so hard to balance my time between all of the things that I love to do. And I have not made a punch needle in a long time, and so I'm really happy to be starting one. So this is going to be Stitchy Birds. This is part of the fabric line, and I'm making, so that's the back, and then here's the finished side that I've gotten. That's how far I've gotten. I love these colors, and it's just really fun. It's fun. It's, if anybody ever figures out how to allocate time to do all the things you love, let me know. Let me know. All right, now I'm going to show you what I'm stitching on. This is called Cherry Jubilee, and it is a Patreon design. This was from April, I think. Yeah, this is an April Patreon design. So what that means is if you were in tier 3 and 4 in April, you could download that for free. I mean, it's part of your monthly payment or fee or whatever to be in the Patreon group. So then, like when May 1st hits, I upload the May charts and I delete the April charts, but I offer the April charts for sale in a like secret shop. It's not Etsy. It's in a shop that is password protected that only people in Patreon can access. Okay, so people can access this if they want to join Patreon. Anyway, having said that, this particular month I did birds and fruit. So I had this one, and then I had dazzling raspberries, and I had strawberry, delicious strawberry or juicy strawberries or something. I don't remember. But anyway, this is the one I was telling you that it is so much fun to stitch. You know, it's I don't know why it's easy to stitch. I don't know why, it just is. Oh, well, this one's broke. No wonder it's not working. I'll just hold the one side. Okay, this is how far I've gotten. So Mama Loves You GB, Michelle, that's the name of her Instagram and her Flosstube. She is almost done. Almost done. But this is how far I am. I'm stitching this on LFA Linens, Legacy Fiber Arts Linen, Old North Church. It was the January 2022 Fabric Club color, and they are going to be adding those club colors to their line eventually. I did switch out a couple colors. It calls for DMC 355. Well, I didn't have it, so I'm using DMC 3777. And then the DMC 3866, the white, was not showing up on my fabric, so I switched it out for Classic Colorworks Toasted Marshmallow. And why is it not focusing? There we go. So there you go. And my border, you know, did meet up. The last time I showed this, I only had these 2 cherries done and then these 3 leaves. So I've gotten all of this done and all of this done in the last 2 weeks. And I didn't stitch at all when I was in Florida. Not at all. I did take it with me, but I don't know. We were with friends. We were hanging out. We're going to the beach. We're going out to dinner. We're doing this. We're doing that. You know what I mean? So I didn't have, it just didn't work out to stitch. What I did do, I have to be creative. It's just in my bones. So I did design something on my computer on my laptop, you know, while we're sitting around having coffee and watching the news and all that. I'm not one to do that. I have to be doing something. I can't just sit and watch TV. It bores me to tears. Right, I got some stitchy kindness from some very talented ladies. All right, the first one is from one of my patrons. Her name is Susan. I didn't ask if I could give her full name, so I'm not going to. But I love what she said, though. It's quite a long letter. I'm not going to read it all, but let's see. So she made me 3, is it 3 or 4? oh my gosh, 4 thread beds. And I don't know that she sells them. She doesn't, I don't think she does. But she makes them for herself, and then she decided to make some for me out of my fabric lines. But she said before she had the thread beds, she tended to leave her remaining strands on the couch, chair, table, or wherever she was stitching. Then she'd get confused about which project they came from and would end up throwing away the thread. That can be costly. So anyway, now she just puts her thread when she's done stitching on a project. She just puts them in this little thread bed, closes it up, and throws it in her project bag. So why is autofocus canceled? Change zoom, magnify. I don't know. My camera said the autofocus was turned off, and so I just tried to fix it. I don't know how. But I had a couple comments on my last video that they said my video was all blurry. So I did clean my lens thinking maybe it was, I don't know. I hope this one's not blurry. Back onto what Susan made for me. So she made me 2 Fred, oh my gosh, thread beds. Good golly, Miss Molly. Out of my Halloween Whimsy material. So stinking adorable. I love it. And then she made 2 of them out of my For the Love of Nature fabric as well. In these little snaps. They're just awesome. I will use the heck out of these. So thank you so much, Susan. I love a handmade gift. It's the best kind of gift in the world, but especially one that's practical, that is functional. It's like, what? Very cool. And then from Sweet Chris, she is so nice. She won a giveaway and wanted to thank me by giving me these little crocheted doilies. I guess they're called doilies. I don't know what you would call them, but she said they're little coasters, and you can put them on your table and they absorb the water from your sweaty drink. And she said they also work in your cup holder in your car. And I'm going to see if that works in our truck because I think they're adorable. I love them so much. She used nice prim colors that I absolutely love. That's the red, white, and blue. And then look at these. These are kind of boho colors. But they're antique-y looking. I just love them. So Chris, thank you very, very much. Oh, I also want to do a shout out to somebody. Just before I left for Florida, the sweetest woman on the planet called me. Her name is Mary Jensen, and she lives, oh, I forgot. So Mary Jensen, I wanted to say hi to you. She is from Mazomanie, Wisconsin. Mazomanie, Wisconsin. I thought it was Wisconsin, but I didn't want to misquote myself. But anyway, she just was so sweet. And I think when she called, I think she was calling I think she thought she was calling a company. And so, I mean, it was my cell phone. I didn't even think to ask her how she got my number, but I answer and she said, "Is Teresa there?" And I said, "This is Teresa." And she said, No, it's not. Or I don't remember exactly what she said, but something to that effect. And I said, "No, it's me." She goes, "It's really you? I'm watching you on TV." It was the cutest thing. So she was watching my Flosstube video, and she had a question she wanted to ask, and she somehow got my number and called me, and we had the loveliest conversation. She was just a doll, and so I wanted to shout her out and say hi. Okay, that was it for Stitchy Kindness. I'm going to go into haul at the Farm Girl Gathering. Samplerbird. Her name is Robin. She was there selling these amazing scissor fobs. I think as a kit there as well. And when she made that announcement, because we went around the room and introduced ourselves, and if we had something to sell, we could just, blah, blah, blah. Anyways, when she said that, I was like, oh my gosh, I want to buy one. And then it was so busy and I forgot. So she has an Etsy shop. I will link her Etsy shop below. This kit is just unbelievable. You get everything. You get the beads. You get, let me just take it out so you can see it. I cannot wait to make this. A lot of people have made it. Holy Toledo. You get the floss on a nice little floss strap there. You get the beads. What is that? Oh my gosh. You get the beads and the little lobster claw hook, and you get this little piece of fabric that you're going to need, and it already has interfacing attached to it. You also get another piece. You get a piece to stitch on. This is what you stitch on. And you get a piece of interfacing. I'm not going to show you that. And you actually get the crushed walnut shells to make the piece. Everything you need to complete this project, along with the instructions, are included. Isn't it adorable? So you stitch this piece here, and then this little tomato hangs down underneath it. And then it's got the little lobster claw here, and she's got it attached to her scissors. And then on the back, you can stitch your initials and the date with that little tomato. It's just fabulous. So that is going to be on my to-do list. I don't think it will take long to stitch at all. What's going to take the longest is going to be, you know, making it. But, oh, and then there's this. What is this? Another little piece of fabric. Everything you need. Then I purchased from Heather Punky Pearls on Instagram. I think she has a floss tube. Oh my Lord. You know, I should be more informed before I start my videos. I was right. Punky Pearls has a floss tube. There's so many floss tubes that I want to watch, but there's not enough hours in the day, y'all. Well, she was selling one of these beautiful project books on Instagram, and she had one left, and she said, you know, does anybody want this? And I said, well, if it's not purchased already, I will purchase it. And it was already sold, but she said, well, I can make you one if you want it. So I said, yes, please. She made it from my For the Love of Nature fabric line. I love that. I love this on the gray. Not a lot of people are using that as much as the other colors, but that's her little tag that she puts on all the things that she creates. So cool. So it unzips here. And here's the inside. So all these pages unzip in their little pouches. And there's 1, 2, 3, 4. So my husband's like, that's really cool. What are you going to do with it? I have different ideas of what I want to do with it. I mean, I could put cross stitch projects in, you know, have 4 projects going on in here. I could do that, which is very, very possible. The other thing I thought would be cool is to put like color pencils in here and markers, maybe like by color. All my warm colors in one, all my, you know, cool colors in another, and then my blacks and whites and all that. I don't know. So I have a couple options for it, but it's so well made. She makes handbags and the most beautiful work. Check her out. I thought I had more haul, but I guess that's it. This just came today, and this is fabric from, oh no, I know one of the coolest, another very, very cool haul I got. Almost forgot about it. All right, so I have been following Arbutus Hunter forever. Forever. I met her at the Ghoultide Gathering in Michigan years and years ago. And in 2013, I did an interview with her. So I have this other website called gatherdreamcreate.com. And when I started it, my intention was to do interviews with artists and creators and makers of all kinds. I have, that's where I had my tutorials at one time. It's just a creative place to go and to be inspired and to learn about other makers and creators. So I have a few interviews on there, and all of the interviews that are on there are from 2013. Anyway, I've admired her work for many years, and I like her more prim stuff too. But this, I don't know, something about this little puppy dog just won me over, and I had to have him. This is a spun cotton ornament. You can see by the size of my hand that it's really tiny. And I have no idea how you would go about making something like that. I don't know, but it's not anything I'm ever going to make. And I'm going to leave it to the professionals because look at the detail. He's so stinking cute. But anyway, I'll put a link below if you want to go check out the interview I did with her. She's a very lovely woman and super sweet. And I'll have her Instagram link below as well so you can go look at some of her work. It's just adorable. So this is hung proudly on my little Halloween tree that I have down here at the studio with all these cute little whimsical things. Here's her information too. I got a bunch of fabric, and this isn't all the fabric that I get from the lines that I design with Riley Blake Designs, but they sent me some fabric because, oh, now I know what this is. Okay, this is not what I thought it was. I thought I was getting like some yardage of all of the different fabrics in the line, but no. These are all the wide backs. Wow, so let's check these out. I hadn't seen these yet. Look, you guys. So wide back just means they're large prints. Look how large that print is. So it's good for like the back of your quilt, or if you want to make curtains or something. You know what I mean? It's a large print. Oh my goodness. That is super cool. I just got it today and I hadn't pulled it out and looked at it, obviously. I just peeked inside and saw Stitchy Bird's fabric, and I thought it was just some fabric for me to use to make projects for the project book that I'm not sure is going to happen now. I mean, I might make a project book, but it's not probably going to have like a cool pattern in it. But look. Isn't it awesome? Look how big they are. Yeah. So they came in the blue, the off-white, and then the burgundy. So yeah, if you love Stitchy Birds and you're going to make a quilt, here is your backing fabric. Isn't it awesome? I just love it. Oh, Riley Blake, you guys just knock it out of the park every time. And Stitchy Birds ships, I want to say this fall. Yeah, it ships this fall. So look for that to come to your local quilt shop. We have a giveaway for this cute little pouch. These pouches are not available for sale or anywhere. These were something that the attendees of the Farm Girl Gathering could purchase at the retreat. I had a few of the small ones left over, so I decided to give one away. I think I had two or three left over. I don't know. Anyways, you had to say Farm Girl Gatherings in order to be in the drawing, so I'm going to insert a picture of the winner here. Congratulations, Julie. If you can just email me at teresakogut3@gmail.com. Give me your physical address. I will send that out to you ASAP. I'm just going to talk real quick about my plans. I have a lot of things planned. I'm obviously going to continue stitching on Cherry Jubilee. I'm just really enjoying that stitch. I'm going to get all the words in there, and I want to get one of those darn birds done. So probably the little baby bird, I'll probably get him done. That's my goal this week. I have several things kitted up. Something else that I offer to Patreon is a monthly ornament that they can purchase for $5. And the June one is called Merry and Bright, and it's only 70 by 70 stitch count. And I love how primitive it is, and so I want it to be primitive. So I am going to stitch it on Weeks Dye Works Mocha. It's a Zweigart based fabric. And here are all the threads. It's on that mocha is a nice dark fabric. When I hold it up close, it doesn't look dark, so that's why I'm holding it back here. So yeah, it'll be very Christmassy because it's a Christmas ornament. I need to put that in a project bag. And then I have all of these kitted. I don't know how many of these I'm going to stitch, but so I know I keep talking about Patreon. And here's why I want to stitch the Patreon things is because when I send out something to be stitched, to be model stitched for me so that I can release the pattern, I get to keep the finished stitched piece. You know, I pay for it to get framed or I fully finish it myself. That way I have the model on hand when I go to Nashville or, you know, what have you. When I design things for Patreon, I don't get them stitched by model stitchers. If I want it, I got to stitch it myself. And this month was like early American folk art style charts, which is my true, like, I like to, you know, as you know, I like to design a lot of different styles and I like to paint that way too. I like to paint my angels. I like to paint folk art. I like to paint early American, like Pennsylvania Dutch stuff. You know, I'm kind of all over the place. That's why my business name is Creative Whims. I go where my whims take me. But my true, like, I really dig and really love a good Pennsylvania Dutch folk art kind of flair. So I hadn't designed anything like that for the patron members. Well, for June, that's what I did. So I designed 3 different designs. And all 3 of these I have actually painted. 2 of the original paintings are hanging in my house. This is the one I want to stitch first because the original of this one I sold. So I don't have it in my house. And I love this one so much. I love the colors. I love the layout, the symmetry of it. So I am going to stitch this. Now, it's kind of stitch heavy. I mean, it's going to take me a long time to do this. What is the stitch count? Oh, I don't have it on this. The printouts that the patrons get, it has the stitch count and all the information on it. But I printed this out. I didn't print out the PDF. Anyways, it's not super huge, but it's just heavy stitching, a lot of stitching. So I decided I'm going to stitch it on Dolly Madison by Needle and Flax, 40 count. And I'm going to show you the colors. I love these colors. Oh my gosh. Hold please. Well, now I know why y'all use floss drops with a ring, because then you can just hold up your floss and comb it and make it look all pretty, and everyone can see all the colors, and it's easy. But I don't know. I just want to, I don't have time, a lot of time to stitch. So when I sit down to stitch, I want to just sit down and stitch. I don't want to have to put everything on drops, and I don't know. I'm always short on time. But I will do my best to show you how these are going to look. There are the colors. So pretty. And it's going to look great on Dolly Madison. I'm just excited to get started on that. I'm going to start it. I'm going to start it sometime this week. I'm going to go ahead and show you the other two designs for Patreon and show you the fabric I chose for those. Oh my goodness. Now this, I have this original painting in my house. This is square the way I designed it, but the painting is not square. And I'm going to stitch that one. It'll probably be next year before I even get to it. I mean, Dirty Teacup. Do you not see that on Dirty Teacup? It's washed out, isn't it? Come on, man. There we go. Can you just see that stitched on Dirty Teacup? Like I said, I don't know when I'll get to all this. And then this is the last one. I also have this original painting hanging in my home. Common looking people are the best in the world. That's why the Lord makes so many of them. And I just think that is awesome. An awesome Abraham Lincoln quote. I love the old, old-timey looking people. And I got some like ghosty designs in the background there. Little ghosty motifs. And I want to stitch that on XU Designs Grandpa's sleeve. I think it would make it look really old. And I just think it would work perfectly. So yeah. I don't know. I don't know how long it's going to take me to stitch all that because they're all pretty stitch heavy. But even if I can just get that first one done that I showed you, I'd be super happy just to have that one done. I will be starting that probably tomorrow. My husband has band practice tomorrow, which is kind of a bummer because it's Sunday. And I don't like to be at the house when they're practicing because it's so loud and my dog barks at everyone, so I have to keep her upstairs. And it's just a hot mess. So I will be down here at the studio. I'm going to do some weeding and gardening and stuff after church, but then I'm going to have to hide out in my studio. So I have a magnifying light down here too, so I might just come down here and stitch for a few hours. I think that would be fun. So that is all I have for now, everyone. It was a long video, but it's been a long time since I got to talk with you guys and catch up. I just want to remind you guys too, I love sharing your finished projects on my Flosstube video. So if you have stitched something of mine and you want me to share it on my Flosstube video, just email me a picture and let me know like your fabric and if you change any of the floss colors, because that's important for people to know. You can email me that at teresakoga3@gmail.com. I love seeing people stitch things on different fabrics because it just can change it so much. I see pictures on Instagram of my things and then I'll like ask the person in a comment if I can share it on Flosstube, and then I forget where I saw it and how to get back to the picture, and anyways. So it's easier for me if you just email it to me. That would be so helpful because, like I said, it's fun to see it and it's fun to share it with all of you. So anyway, you guys have a great week. I plan on, oh, that's right, I'm leaving Wednesday. I'm not going to do a Flosstube next weekend. I will be in Tennessee. I leave Wednesday with my friend Vicky. Vicky and I grew up together. She lived like between 3 and 5 miles. I'm terrible with measuring and distance. I don't know how far it was, but I could ride my bike to her house anyway. We met in kindergarten, so we've been friends for almost 50 years. That's crazy. Wow, that's crazy. Anyways, her and I are driving down to Kristen's place in Tennessee. And then our other high school friend, Jill, she's flying down there on Thursday, meeting us at the CMA Fest. We are going to concerts Thursday night, Friday night, Saturday night, and Sunday night, and then driving home Monday. So I can't wait. Girl time galore, and it's going to be so fun hanging out at the pool at Kristen's all day and just relaxing or going shopping and then going to concerts at night. So much fun. I will not be here next weekend, but I will be back the following weekend to share all the goodness with you. So until then, don't forget, create every day. Bye.
Hey to you. Happy birthday, dear Ellery. Happy birthday to you. Yay. Blow it harder. Come on. Yeah.
Goggles.
Goggles? Oh my goggles. Oh my goggles.
What are these?
Put it low.
She said, oh, did you see that?
I saw it.
I saw it, Grandma.
Once in a while you just hear Bubby.
Like this.
What is that?
Ursula, yeah.
Whoa!
What is she gonna do with all this stuff? There's more.
In your bag.
In the bag. Evidently. Damn.
Right in that same spot.
We ought to be fishing right there.
Shakes his tail.
Yeah.
You think he shakes his tail.
Every time he takes a gulp, he's I'm happy.